Hello, volleyball community. I'm Tony Kerr, and you're watching the high-level overview of the Hudl volleyball platform. Let's dive right in. We're going to kick this off here once you've already logged in and you've already navigated to your Hudl library. It's going to look like this. Any match that you've uploaded is going to show up here along with any practice or any playlist that you've created. You'll find all of those here in your library. A couple other things about the library before we jump into one of the videos. Over here on the left, you can think of this more as like an organizational portion of the platform. So you can filter by event. If you've scheduled events for each one of your matches, you can come over here and filter by type, whether you want to look at games, playlists, practices, etc. And then labels. A lot of people have questions about labels. You can think of this more as like a personalized folder for yourself. So again, an organizational metric where maybe you want to come in and label a bunch of things as a specific tournament or your best matches or something of that nature. This allows you to create your own navigational tools or tags on any one of these videos. Now, before we click on any single one of these videos, I do want to show you, you have this little button right here in the top left corner of each one. And when you click on that, it allows you to select multiple videos and you can play them all directly from here. We're not going to do that right now. We're just going to jump into one, but you do have that option if you'd like to do it at any point in time. You're also going to have a couple little indicators down here. If you scroll over them, it's going to tell you what is going on with each one of these indicators. And you can see like this one, for example, the video is still processing. So you've got some complete ones, some processing ones, you've got all sorts of little data. If you just scroll over it, it's gonna fill you in on what each one of those actually means. Let's dive right into one of these videos. If I click on one, gonna open it up in a nice big screen here. Now, before we actually watch this, I wanna give you a full overview of really how you navigate this new interface. So, first thing I want to talk about is over here on the right side panel. You have a bunch of different options. You've got reports, comments, lists, saved, review, grid, timeline, and these are going to change slightly depending upon where you are on the platform. But this is a good place for you to kind of start your navigation. So list view, this is going to show you this list right here. That's my preferred view. Doesn't mean it has to be your preferred view, but I like looking at it from a list standpoint. Now, if I get rid of this, you can see the video player gets bigger. It's going to change based off of what you have open. If you prefer maybe a grid view, that's going to show up down here, and that's going to get very similar to a list view. It's going to give you a overview of the plays that are happening as they're happening, but it's going to give you a little bit more detail of what is going on in each one of those. Again, this is more like a grid. You can see that here. If I prefer a timeline view, I have that option as well. So you can see this is going to scroll very similarly to like a video from left to right, and it's going to show me each one of the individual actions that happens in that specific play. We're going to pop back here to list view because, again, that is my preferred view, but you have all of those options. And you can have multiple ones open at the same time, and this is a dynamic video player. It's going to change accordingly. Over here, you also have on the video player up in the top left corner, you've got a little indicator of what is going on in any specific action here. And then up here in the top right corner, you have all sorts of additional things that you can do on the video player itself. This is going to be if you want to type on it, draw on it, all that sort of stuff. You've got your trajectories right there for those who are familiar with trajectories. You click on that, you can turn on your serve trajectories, reception, setting trajectories, always one of the more popular ones, the dig trajectories, and then you have the options of how those are going to stay, whether you want them to continue and persist on the video the entire time, you want to show them all at once, or you want them to erase after every single clip. You also have your court overlays. You can come in here and you can change whether you want the court overlay, the speed overlay, the contact height, and a net overlay as well. That is going to be your overlay right there. So you can see the serve went from there to there with a speed of 31 miles an hour, or 50 kilometers per hour. So these again are just more navigation things on the video. Up here at the top, you do have a scoreboard, and down here in the bottom right, you have additional options as well. If you click that out, it's going to tell you, hey, do you want your quality really high? Do you want to be watching this at half speed, 1 speed, 2x, etc.? all of these different options. A lot of people get confused on this one, so make sure you're paying attention. This flow means it's going to continue from clip to clip to clip to clip. If I do choose this loop one, it will remain on attack, for example, if I'm watching that, or if I'm watching this serve, it's just going to keep playing that serve on a loop. Whatever clip I'm currently watching, it's going to play that until I click on to the next one. Most of you are going to want to watch this in flow mode. You can choose between your lead and your lag time and your laser pen, and then a few things regarding keyboard shortcuts. If you go ahead and click right there, it will allow you to choose whether you want the old ball time keyboard shortcuts, the volumetric shortcuts, or the old Hudl shortcuts. Whichever one you want, just click on that, click out of it, and it will persist and use that keyboard shortcuts. Over here on the left, I do want to talk about each one of these. So we've got reports. That's going to be sort of like a stats bar here where you can come through and see each one of the individual stats. We'll dive into this a little deeper in just a minute. You've got your comments section right here where you can leave a comment at any point in time, and this is where you will find all of your comments as well. List view we already talked about. Most of you are going to be pretty familiar with this because this will be similar to what you've experienced in the past, both on Volumetrics and on the previous Hudl platform. Saved is going to be an area where you have saved clips, and this is going to be where you access your playlists. You can create playlists from here and add these saved clips directly to playlists. We will come back to that again in just a little bit of time. Review, this is going to be where you can come in and review your data. Most importantly, for many of you, that's going to be edit your starting rotation. So you establish, hey, we're starting in rotation 2 and the opponent's starting in rotation 5 or 1 and 2 or whatever they are. It will walk you through. For the sake of this video and the sake of time, I'm not going to dive into each one of these, but this is how you get to the review panel. If you need to set up your court corners, you're going to click that one right there. If you have missing data, you're going to go ahead and click this start button. It's going to walk you through the identification wizard, which again, many of you are familiar with. Same thing here, review unidentified athletes. That's going to be more of the unidentified players as opposed to something like attack locations or blocks, for example. If you do have interest in regrading any of your contacts, that's going to be, all of your attacking, all of your passing, things like that. You can come through and you can regrade those using one of our regrading wizards. Very, very simple to do. Again, for the sake of time, I'm not going to go over that in this video, but if you want more information on that, be sure to check out our other tutorials where we dive into this a little bit deeper. So you can see right here, regrade exceptions or regrade attacks. Those are going to be the two most common things that you might want to do. The last thing I do want to point out on this portion of the platform is going to be this customized pass rating. Now, what's really cool here is if you click on this, it's going to open up another window where I can come in and I can actually choose what I want to be a 3-pass. So let's say I want to be a little bit more strict on my 3-pass area and I want to bring all of this in. I can change that. I can move it left and right really easily like this. If for some reason this is a 3-pass, maybe you're a really low level team, a younger team, and you want your athletes passing the ball off the net, maybe you want it to look a little bit more like that. And same thing, if you want to change the 2 passes, you can do that. The 1 passes, the 0s, those are pretty straightforward, but you can change these at any point in time. Let me pop out of that one, back to here. So you can come in here and you can customize your pass rating. That's going to be the review. We've already talked about the grid and the timeline. Now, the biggest thing I want to go over before we dive into any of the real analytics things is up here in the top left corner, these 3 things are going to be really, really pertinent or really, really important for you guys. So one of the coolest parts about the new platform is you can come in here and you can click this library and you can add, let me move this guy out of the way, you can add additional videos to what you're already looking at without leaving the session itself. So let's say, oh, I remember there was a clip I had a great attack in these 3 matches. I can come in here and I can filter on all 4 of those matches, at the same time. And I can add them straight from here without having to leave the video player. So really, really great. Save you a little bit of time there. Makes it much easier to navigate everything. The next thing I want to show you is this filters button. So up here in the top left corner, you will always have a filters button. You also have it here on your list view. You've got that filters button right there, maybe a little familiar for many of you. And then down here on the grid, you've got that filters button right there. And same thing, hiding it in the timeline view. You've got that filters button right there. Now, many of you already know what I'm talking about when I'm referring to filters, but let's open one of these up just so we can go over it all. Over here on the left, you're going to have these filters. Now, I can come in here and say, I want to filter on just my team, or maybe a specific athlete, or maybe if I'm looking at a practice, I want to go through drills. Situations, this is going to be set 1, set 2, what rotation I want to filter by. If you want any of the individual things, you can either click attack and that's going to do all of them. Or if I come in here and maybe I just click kill, that's going to just directly filter on all kills for myself, or whatever the other attributes are as well. So really neat. You can come in here and filter on anything you want. We've got the attack speed, the preceding pass ratings, all the things you could imagine, who the setter was, everything you're used to, you're going to find right here in the filters, like you've always been able to. Now, biggest thing I want to jump to next is going to be this reports tab. What's really cool about this is I can come and get a quick view of the stats while I'm watching the video itself. So if I want to see all of number 2, Allison's kills, I can just click on that number 15 right there, and it's going to auto adjust what my filters were. If I switch to, attack errors, for example, now it's adjusted over here, errors by Jayla, because that is what I clicked on. So really, really great. It's like a little shortcut to those filters. Really easy to do. You can do the same thing in receiving serves. You've got all of them right here in a scrolling fashion. These are all editable in terms of the order that you want them in. The way you're going to do that is up here in the top right-hand corner, you've got this expand button. This is going to be really useful for many of you if you want to just be looking at stats. If you want stats and video at the same time, you can look at those right here. If you go ahead and you click this, it's going to expand this into a large format. Now, most of us are more used to and familiar with this type of a view when you're looking at stats, but the other side panel view is really, really useful when you're trying to do both at the same time. You can see I have my filters still open here. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to close that out. If you do want to filter on this, you have your filters button right here. That's going to pop this back up and you will be able to filter on the stats themselves. One of the other things I really want to point out here is if you do want to add matches at any point in time while you're looking at the stats and you say, oh, I want to see how we did in this match, you can do that. So you can see I've just now switched and I'm looking at the stats from this match as opposed to this match, which is what we were looking at the very beginning. If I want to do combined across all 3 of these, I can do that. And every time I click on one, it's going to react appropriately. And if I do want to click on one of these, it's going to bring me back to that video player where I can watch those stats. And you can see now that I have a different video up because I have added 3 videos here. I'm going to open this back up so we can cover a few of the other things on the stats page. Athlete stats, this is going to be your typical box score. Oh, I forgot to mention or show you earlier, we skipped over this. Settings, this is where you're going to come in and be able to change what you want in what order. You can also change the actual columns here that you want to see visible in the stat sheet itself. So really useful tool right there for anybody that wants to change this. I personally like to look at attacks and receiving first, make it look a little bit more like a collegiate box score in that order, but whatever is most important to you, put that where you want it. If we jump to team stats, this is going to be more like a overall team stats. For me, and everyone's going to have their own opinion here, for me, I like this one really because I want to look at everything by rotation. So I want to look at my point scoring, my side out percentages, et cetera, et cetera. You do have a little drop down here where you can look at this by rotation, by set, by match. Again, use that at your leisure and figure out what works best for you and what you like most. Attack tendencies, pretty straightforward. This is going to give you a chart of all of the attack tendencies on whatever you have filtered on. So you can see here, I'm still filtered on number 2, Allison, and just her kill. So it's showing me that. If I get rid of that, now I can see all of Allison's attacks, right? So I'm seeing all of these at the same time. If I get rid of those, it's still showing me attacks because we're on the attack tendencies chart at the moment. You can also take a look at these by distribution, so you can see that. You can see a little bit of a core or a line overlay there, but this is going to be more of like a heat map. You've got efficiencies here. That's going to be pretty neat. And then you've got this 3D attack line view as well, which is incredible. So really cool there. If you hit the control button, you can zoom in and actually move this in any way that you want. Look at these in a 3D and visualize them in a 3D view as well. When we jump to rotations, this is going to be more in-depth rotational analysis, where you can see the attack routes, the attack lines by rotation in each one of them separately. You've also got that overview here. You can choose between first ball and transition, just first ball, just transition. I personally, again, I like to look at this more from a first ball side out standpoint. And then you can also filter on the pass rating. So I want to see what they did in 3 pass situations, 2 pass situations, etc. So all the detail that you want, very customizable to you. If you do want to jump into any rotation, you can do that. It pops open and looks at even more in depth from what you were looking at before. You get a better overview of what's going on. And again, more detailed analysis in each one of these situations. More to come on this, and each one of these is clickable as well. It will take you directly there, and now you're looking at this in that side panel view again. So all of this is going to react however you want it to be. It's all customizable, really cool. Going to jump back here. We've got our setter tendencies, where you've got your efficiency in each one of these. I'm filtered. Let me clear all of these filters. Whoops, wrong button. Let me clear all of these filters here. So now we're going to see efficiency, we're going to see frequency, and we're going to see the trajectories, again, because we're looking at this from a setter's trajectory standpoint right now. And I can come in here and I can manipulate this however I want. And you can change the colors by set rating or set result based on whether it was a kill, an error, or in play. Again, all sorts of optionality here. And I can add, whoops, clicked on one of those. And I can add any one of these videos at any point in time. Trends is going to be over time what is going on. So if I come in here and I pick, aces and, I don't know, reception attempts and whatnot, this is going to give me an over time metric of what is going on. I uploaded all of these videos on the same day. There we go. So these ones were uploaded on different days. And so they're going to show over time what is going on. You can see there what is happening. 3D view is just going to be a conglomerate of all of the different things. One of my favorite ones that we've just added is actually going to be your dig analysis here. So you can come in and see how high are we actually digging, and what's coming of each one of those, where the dig is coming from, where the dig is going to. Again, you can filter on any of your individual athletes there. Goals is really cool. You can actually set goals. Again, I'm not going to dive into how to do that at this point in time, but you can set goals for your team, and if they hit them, they will appear there as well. Now, that's a pretty good high-level overview of everything that we have on the platform. If you have any questions at all, please reach out to us. Please take a look at any of the other tutorial videos where we're going to go in much more depth on everything that we went over today. But really want to give you an overview of how to navigate the platform and how you can really set this up and manage it the way that you want it to be managed. Oh, last thing that I definitely didn't want to forget, one of the best parts of this platform, honestly, is that up here at the top, you have a search bar. This is going to be an amazing resource for you. So if I say, I want to see, show me all of number 2 attacks. It's going to understand what I am saying there, and it's going to pull up all of number two's attacks for me. So you can just type into this as if you were talking to any AI at any point in time, and it will pull that up for you. So really cool to be able to do that. And last but not least, we have saved filters. So if there's a specific situational filter that you use regularly, I want to see all of our side outs in rotation to when we pass a 3-pass. You can create that filter, you can save that filter, and they will populate right here under saved filters. Again, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to us at any point in time. We are more than happy to help. We hope you enjoy the new platform and can't wait to talk to you about it. Take care.